health, wellness in the workplace, strategies for success. We are delighted to have you all join us once again as we continue our exploration of this fascinating topic.
Indeed, it's wonderful to see familiar faces joining us today, and we hope you had a restful day and are ready to dive into another session filled with valuable insights and discussions.
Exactly, Anjali. Today, again, we have an exceptional lineup of speakers who bring a wealth of knowledge and practical insights to this table. So, without further delay, let's introduce our esteemed speakers for today's session.
Our first speaker is Mr. Vikas Pansal, a seasoned corporate leader and strategic visionary driving transformative growth through innovation, operational excellence, and principled governance. With over 20 years of experience leading national and global organizations, he combines entrepreneurial spirit, business acumen, emotional intelligence, and integrity. He founded India's first comprehensive higher education consulting firm in 2005, revolutionizing the sector with digital strategies and advanced learning tools. His expertise spans strategic partnerships, stakeholder engagement, fundraising, omni-channel marketing, and enterprise transformation. An alumnus of XLRI MBA and HBTI Chemical Engineering, Mr. Bansal has also established a nationwide franchising network for fashion TV salon academies.
Our next speaker for today is none other than Mr. Kaustuban B. Srinivasan, who boasts over 40 plus years of experience in the automotive industry, having held roles from quality to engineering, marketing, and business development. His career began at Maruti Suzuki and evolved through leadership positions at Tata Group, Renault, and Cummins. He founded CAT24 Techno Solutions in 2015, providing technical and engineering advisory services. His work with Ola Electric Mobility and Greaves Electric Mobility underscores his expertise in EV technologies and renewable energy patents. Kostuban's global experience and strategic vision have significantly impacted the automotive sector, making him a respected figure in engineering and innovation.
Next up, we have Dr. Sunita Sengar, a distinguished advocate for gender equality in workplace health and wellness. Her presentation emphasizes the importance of integrating a gender perspective into health initiatives to create inclusive, equitable, and productive health work environment. By addressing unique challenges faced by women, such as reproductive health, work life balance, and workplace harassment, Dr. Sengar advocates for strategies that enhance the overall organizational performance. Her work at UN Women focuses on fostering supportive environments and implementing legislation to curb discrimination, ensuring that women's participation in the workspace is unhindered and valued.
Next up, we have none other than Professor Dr. Shailesh Mishra. With over 21 plus years of experience, Shailesh ji is a dual doctorate holder and a chartered engineer. His career includes senior roles at Panasonic and Samsung, collaborating with over 250 plus brands and engaging with various ministries, industry associations, and academic institutions. Dr. Mishra's contributions to electronics and IT have earned him numerous accolades. His work in design conceptualization, environmental research, and regulatory affairs showcases his significant impact on science and education, establishing him as a leader in his field.
Introducing our next speaker, Ms. Malik Shah, an accomplished startup mentor and project head at SmartGate Incubator. With extensive experience in the startup ecosystem, she excels in guiding early stage startups towards success by developing robust business plans, pitch decks, and securing funding. She holds a PGDM from the Association of Business Execution UK and has received accolades such as Businesswoman of the Year 2020 and Best Startup Mentor of the Year 2022. Beyond her professional achievements, she is a passionate tarot reader, providing insightful readings that help individuals gain clarity and direction in their personal and professional lives.
Our final speaker for today is Mr. Abhijit Bhaumik, the co-chairman of BASIS, a visionary leader with over 13 plus years in the IT sector. As the chairman of Workspace Infotech Limited, he excels in client management and system analysis. An associate professor at AIUB, he mentors students and promotes entrepreneurship development. Abhijit ji holds a BSc, MSc, and is currently pursuing a PhD at University Malaysia, Pahang. Mr. Bhaumik's numerous publications and awards highlight his commitment to education and innovation. His leadership in BASIS drives technological advancement and entrepreneurial growth in Bangladesh. We are grateful for all of your presence and eagerly anticipate your valuable insights and contributions in today's conference session. We would also like to inform all of you that the HR team will be conducting calls in the chat box throughout the session. We encourage active participation from attendees and speakers alike. Now, I would like to request all the attendees to kindly switch on our webcams. I've already highlighted the point in the beginning. Interaction is a two-way process. It's not a one-way process. If you're just staying out in the meeting, our technical team will either be removing you or you will not be certified at the end of the conference. Again, faster. I want to see all the cameras on. Shubham, Krish, everyone else, I want the cameras on. Faster. We are waiting for you. Chalo. So moving ahead, I would like to invite Mr. Vikas Bansal to share his perspectives with all of us.
A very good evening to all of you. First of all, 6 minutes of mine have been consumed. So I have got only 9 minutes to just crisp the whole interaction, right? So my apologies, first of all, just stewing up your Sunday evening. Your family must be behind me and the organizers. How come we can just do so bad to you? I mean, first of all, the topic like health and wellness at workplace, it looks like, just very odd to all of us, huh? Workplace, when we start talking workplace, it is all boring, it is all very negative like that, huh? The good thing is Sundays, weekends, and ideally, if I might be given a choice, I would tell my company to have it alternate day working. So one day rest and one day working. Okay. And that too, on a working day, I'll say 1 hour work, 1 hour rest, alternating. So in 4 hours, I can commit 16 hours of delivery. My productivity will be 4x. That is what all of us want, Dil mange mo. But that is not the truth. The truth is 8 hours is something which we have to manage honestly because we are there to justify our salaries. Being an employer, I can feel the pain. Like I was an employee with Tata Motors. I was the worst employee there. I was a young chap when I was just 21. Okay, but when I became an employer, that time I realized that we have to be very responsible as an employee. But yes, now this is a joint effort by the employee and the employer, both the ends, from top to down. Employers have to ensure that they give those kind of privileges which we will discuss, as well as employee have to take a lot of initiatives on personal level as well as on the community level also. See, job is a place where you get a ready community, like-minded people, buddies. Okay, maybe there are two people who can think similar, who can start thinking about their health and wellness at the workplace. Okay, and then few other may join once we start the initiation. But the challenge is that we all know this, you know this, I know this, we all go through WhatsApp University and Instagram motivation and YouTube motivation, but it doesn't happen practically. Once we go to work, we all are so cluttered with all those hue and cries which start at 10 a.m. sharp. And by 7 in the evening, we are badly occupied with them that we even don't get a single second. Even the lunch is a hush hush thing for us. So we have to first train the untamed animal called the mind. Our mind has got the primitive characteristic to just deny anything which is challenging, which is difficult. So we have to train that, which generally takes 90 days. 90 days is the time on an average. Some people say 40 days. So how we can train this? Very simple. First, take the help of the apps. So there are lot many health apps where you as an individual can design your programs. Maybe it's psychosomatic well-being, your mental well-being, maybe it's your physical well-being. Okay, so just register on those apps and then you can schedule the notification on hourly basis also, which is recommended. So like after every hour of chair work, you have to take a 2 minutes break, but all that schedule you can do in the mobile app. If it is not available in the mobile app, then calendars, Google Calendar is an option where you can do these notifications to make it more smarter and better. If your employer allows and you are gaga with the employer, you can record your affirmations. Okay, you can even record an affirmation for a nearby friend also. कि भाई तुम्हारा वजन घटाना है. After every 1 hour it will start speaking, will start speaking, but don't do that please. So just mention, record those affirmations, they will start just ringing like bell on your mobile phone, and your subconscious, which is busy, which has got the habit of routine of his work, will immediately disconnect itself from the routine of his work and come back to your mental or physical plan, whatever you have made. Okay. And if it is not possible, your mobile phones are not allowed in lot many workplaces, then you can use notepads on your desktop. If it is not allowed on notepad or desktop, or if you're not having that facility, then you can use stick notes. So where you put the photo of your spouse, and every time you see the spouse, you feel like, अरे भागना है शाम को घर उधर ये सामान लेके आना है. That's how those ideas keep on coming to the mind. So just put that aside. Put all your affirmations that I have to lose weight, I have to be happy at the work. These are the few activities which I have to do at the work. Okay. So all that you have to mention there. Now, what are the main points? So you start doing this, it will all, become very vague. It will be very boring. You will be forgetting, but gradually and slowly. See, the formula is 1% improvement every day. Kindly note it, just 1%. If you improve 1% in your life every day, then 38 times you become better in a year. That is a scientific system. So once you start on these lines, then you can plan your task sheet. So in your companies, you may be having a lot many project management tools which give you task sheets or worksheets where you mention about your work schedules. Okay, if there you have got a provision to mention your personalized schedules also, do that about your health plans, that I have to eat this in the day. I have to just take my meditation sessions. You can do Googling. So on Google, you can find lot many 1 minute instant nap options. You can get 1 minute deep breathing options. They work brilliant. You can find lot many relaxation options, as well as you can find 1 minute chair yoga. You can find 1 minute stretching options. Okay, so all that you can schedule, mention, can alternate also. And I see a lot many people working on desktop and laptops. So they have got lot of health related issues. So they have to ensure these things at least like anything. If you get a chance, you are talking to a client on phone, then try to walk in the meantime. That is very required. Again, you must be having a smoking zone in all the companies. Nahi hai to, then you shall be going some chai bar, there kind of sutta. Kindly check if your company has got a quiet zone, some place where you can go without all the noise, can sit and relax there for a while. That is required. Quiet zone, develop quiet zone. Okay, make your sitting place a greener place. Okay, you can also buy a small plant. Maybe you can ask your company, your HR, they can put in some indoor plants. That is advisable as an individual. Then coming back to the community thing, you can first find a buddy with a similar thought. So start sharing the goals with that buddy. Then from a buddy, if you can have WhatsApp, some companies have got internal ERPs which gives community option to the employees. Use that. Use any other available option in the market where employees can just group and can do activities together. Or WhatsApp is the best thing. You can make WhatsApp group there. You can interact, chat, and the worst thing is, please detox your digital addiction. So you don't know subconsciously, either your employer allows you or not, your fingers keep on touching your mobile phone after every 2 minutes. So please limit your screen time. Check your screen time, how much screen time you consumed in a working hour. That is must. Even I deny whatever it is, you shall. So Mark Zuckerberg, his kids won't be using this Facebook. Bill Gates, his kids won't be using laptops and mobile phones. He believed that they must read more and more books. So your health is their business. But believe me, you have to get rid of, for last 3 years, I'm not using Facebook and Instagram. I'm using them for my business thing. So my screen time is very low. WhatsApp I'm using fully for my business. I don't interact for anything personal. So I left all the groups. That becomes very tedious. But if you start defocusing yourself, coming out from those things, then only this de-addiction happens gradually. Then only you are able to monitor, map your performances. Now coming back to the company has to check out employee motivation, gamification. They can organize quizzes, sessions. Employees can also have self-managed teams. They can have lunch discussions. Employers can provide a lot of facilities where they can have family engagements, also weekend health activities they can do where the family can be invited. A lot of things can be done like this. So there are endless things. But again, I would like to emphasize that it is we who has to primarily fight with our mind. The monkey sitting inside the mind. Okay, the conscious monkey. So we have to first tame that, because we all feel, let's go to, after an hour of work, we feel like, oh, let's go to a sutta bar. Okay, let's go to a chai bar. No, just either have some nutrition bar, ask company to have a nutrition bar, or you make out, some smoothie from your house. Okay, you feel like craving, so some cold coffee from your house, something like this, or find out an alternate option outside your office or nearby office. So try replacing, but a small step again, 1% improvement. So this is the easiest remedy. And I'll request, just do meditation. If you start doing meditation, that will help you to tame the monkey inside your mind, the devil inside your mind. So that is very significant. Technically, we all shall do meditation of minutes equal to our age. So if I am 45, I shall do 45 minutes of meditation. I can do in parts also. And meditation doesn't mean that you have to learn meditation. Simple theorem of meditation is whatever can make you feel relaxed. So even if you are a religious person, then you want to listen bhajans, do some, mantra chanting, do that. Okay, you want to listen any other music, do that. But just start doing the meditation. You see the miracles in 3 months. Your life will be solely changed, and do it forcibly. Like if you don't, you feel like it's going out of the mind, you are not able to, don't concentrate. Just leave it. Whatever is happening while meditation, don't focus. If something coming up in the mind, let it come. Let it come. Just within few days, you won't be able to know that after doing the same thing again and again, your mind will start automatically getting into the meditation, and you will start feeling the relaxation happening due to the meditation. So with this, I think I have already consumed a lot of time. Slot is over. I am highly thankful to all the listeners who had given their good Sunday evening time to us. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, organizers. Thanks for your time. Yeah, pass on to another speaker, please.
Thank you, Mr. Bansal. Do we have any questions for him?
Yeah.
Any questions from the audience? You can raise your hand or write it in the chat box.
Feel I can, next meeting, I can tell you how to just butter your boss also to get rid of all of these things. The easiest way out.
Even the fellow speakers can ask questions. All right. Okay. If there are no questions, we'll move ahead. I request Mr. Bansal to please share his email address in the chat box. And
Yeah.
if any of our audience has any questions, they can reach out to you.
Yes.
Let's welcome. Yeah, thank you. Let's welcome our next speaker, Mr. Kostabin, and I request him to commence his speech.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Anjali, and thanks to all of you for attending. So I made a PPT presentation as usual. So I'll present that so that if you want to take any snapshots, you can take. Let me see if it comes across clearly, and tell me if you're able to see the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'll go to slide mode, and just if you have any problem in the middle, just let me know so that I'll continue. So in this first screen, but first of all, in this presentation, I've tried to put forward the kind of problems which I have faced in health and wellness in my 40 years long career, and also some of the problems which my children are facing when they join the company. So all that is bundled here into this presentation, and that's why I accepted this. It's a very important topic, and I feel that all managements must look at this. So in this slide, I'm trying to say that some companies, maybe many companies, think that having some few physical facilities will solve the problem of health and wellness. So you can see a gym, you can see a beautiful canteen, you can see some carom games and billiards. So people just put that, and people, when I say people, I mean managements, think that the problem is solved, but it is not solved. And what happens is that there are three things, like even the previous speaker said, and yesterday also heard, the speaker saying that there are many aspects to health and wellness. So what happens when we go to office? There are three things which can happen. One is, we feel mentally drained, is a fact. Sometimes we may feel emotionally drained, and also we may feel physically drained. So, since the topic of this speech is what are the strategies for handling health and wellness in the workplace, before I made it a kind of a PowerPoint with a structured way. So, one of the things also we have to consider is uncertainties in today's work environment. So it's very easy to say, keep smiling, be happy, and all that, but there's a lot of job uncertainty and there are a lot of impacts on work culture. So let me go and kind of summarize for you. It's more like an engineer's presentation. I hope it's okay for you. So we need a holistic approach, and we heard that yesterday as well. Holistic means everything together, and only one, just putting a gym or a canteen will not help. So we have mental HW means health and wellness. So we have mental health and wellness. I'll take you through some specific scenarios and actions. We have emotional health and wellness. I'll take you through specific scenarios and actions. And of course, physical health and wellness. We have specific scenarios and actions. And this plus this plus this all together will be what is called the some solving for health and wellness. And you can see those arrows which show that they are interactive. Now let's look at the first one, which is mental health and wellness. So what are the root causes? If we solve the root causes, then we are somewhere near the solution. We are just going superficially, it will not solve it. So one of the issues is that the timelines are very compressed today. And below you can, I had just drawn up some sample activities. All the things in blue are activities, and all these activities are leading to a milestone, which is shown by a circle. And you can see that all the activities are overlapping. So I don't know if all of you have experience in program management, but when one activity and other activity is overlapping, it means you have to start the second activity before the first activity is completed, whereas they're all interlinked. So that creates a lot of confusion in the organization. कि मैं पहले क्या करूं and बाद में what should I do? That kind of confusion can arise. It's very difficult unless you have a lot of experience. If you have a lot of experience and ability, then you can manage this kind of a timeline. Otherwise, it's extremely difficult. It can cause a lot of stress. So on the right-hand side, you can see my words here. This is an unrealistic timeline and over-ambitious. And I've been through, even in the company which I was just advising recently, the timelines are unrealistic because the management feels this product should be launched, in 6 months, whereas it's just not possible to do it in 6 months. And then everybody is running around, and finally it happens in 9 months or 12 months. So, there's a lot of tension there. On the left-hand side, you can see the causes for mental health and wellness is that the project requirements are not defined. Nobody is actually clear what is the requirement. So this causes a lot of stress because the requirements of the product or service keep changing every 15 days or 1 month.
Sorry to interrupt. I
Yeah.
think the slides are not moving. We're still in the first slide.
Oh, okay. Then what I'll do is, now can you see?
Yes.
Okay. Then I think I'll come out of slide mode. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, sorry. So this was the first one. I said there are 3 things: mentally drained, emotionally drained, physically drained. But on the top, you can see how many people have time to play games in the office. So my first slide was a lot of games management has put. It all looks very good. HR will say, look, what a beautiful culture we have. But actual fact is, how many of us have time to play these games? I actually didn't have. In the companies which I have worked, there was also a TT table, not only a carom board, TT table, billiard, but I never could play table tennis because always I was in some meeting, called here or called there. And same thing may happen to you too. So according to me, what I have found is that there are 3 things: mentally drained, emotionally drained, physically drained at the end of the day. And this makes it very difficult to feel, okay, let me go back to work tomorrow. We are not really attracted. So the mental health and wellness, the total health and wellness should be such a way that we feel like, okay, like going to office. So each of these things I will take one by one. So I'm sorry, I'm going through these slides again. So we need a holistic approach. It means we have to take everything into consideration. So this is this plus this, right? Mental plus emotional plus physical. And for each of these, to make any kind of strategy, we need to break it up into specific scenarios. And then what are the actions for each scenario? What is a scenario? A typical situation, right? So we have to make a list of these scenarios. Let's look at the first one, mental health and wellness. So what are the root causes? I'll go one by one. So I was talking about highly compressed timelines. So the companies which you're working, the companies which I have worked, the timelines were, some of them, not all, were very unrealistic and over ambitious, which I put here. So what happens is everybody is under stress. And you can see here that the blue bars that I have put, those are the activities. And all these activities are overlapping. Normally you say you do this first, then you do the second one, then you do the third one. But when you overlap all of them, in order to meet this round goal, it's very confusing and people can be under heavy stress, and people will be under heavy stress. So we had a company, I worked in an American company where they said that project management can cause divorce, right? So people can get divorced. It's that bad when you launch a product, even in the American market. So they came up with a proper project management discipline and a system where these family problems are avoided. And that's what is going to lead to health and wellness. On the left, you can see project requirements are not well defined. The boss itself doesn't know clearly what's the project requirement. So it keeps changing every 15 days. And when it keeps changing, you can't really manage it. You have to keep changing all the actions that you are doing. And that becomes a total mess. Number two is people start projects without planning for the resources. So as a joke, I said, only you are allocated. So you are there in the project, but nobody else is there. So you're single-handedly trying to do everything, but nobody else has any time for you because they are in their respective work. This is another recipe for the disaster. Now in this slide, Anjali, tell me if any problem in slide seeing. Huh? So in this, I'm now showing a realistic goal. So in a very realistic scenario in project management, you will see all the activities are lined up properly, beautifully. And then it's more possible to achieve that goal. So this is a realistic target. I will launch this car in 18 months is a realistic goal. I will launch a car in 6 months is a very unrealistic goal. So like that, it depends on the industry where you are working. Now, other thing is there's no guidance from senior or peers in many cases. So for young people, and I see many young people in this group, if you don't have guidance, you will land up with mental stress at the end of the day or the end of the week, definitely, because all of you have jobs. And what I find is in many companies, the bosses say, don't ask me anything, you know everything, just do it. So don't ask is a problem. And just do it is okay for a Nike advertisement, but it's not very great in a career or in a workplace because people should know how they should do it. And people should be encouraged to ask questions. So don't ask is a no-go. Like yesterday also, we had this people talking about this particular point. So if you see the emoticon on the bottom right, you can see all are helping each other. They are working together. And from the top down, and this cannot be a bottom-up thing, this health and wellness. It has to come from the CEO downwards. And the policy of the company itself should be that every boss should say, feel free to ask me anything, anytime, and don't assume things. And that's very important. Don't assume things. If the juniors are afraid to ask the boss questions, then what they will do? They will assume, okay, I think that the color of the car should be yellow. Let's go with the yellow. But that's not what the company wants, right? But you don't know that. So therefore, that freedom to ask questions is primary to employee health and wellness. Now, if you see on the left-hand side, that small emoticon, you can see that there are mentors and there is you. And all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle are neatly fitting into each other. So what is this jigsaw puzzle? This is project management or any activity, software, hardware, whatever that you are doing, right? Even if you are in a HR, there are a lot of missing pieces. And those missing pieces have to be joined as a team. So my next slide is a problem which leads to health and wellness. This problem, I call it as no planning at all. So if you ask the boss, okay, they want to launch something, quality. So answer is, okay, the quality should be best, but nobody knows what exactly is the quality. Quality can vary a lot. Even if we are launching a Surf Excel or we are launching spectacles, quality has to be clearly defined. Otherwise, you can't launch it. And when you say what should be the cost of the product, the answer will be it must be very low. That I also know that it must be very low, but how low? So that has to be very perfectly defined. And the last thing is delivery. When do you need this product to be delivered? Tomorrow morning or is it next year? So the answer from the management usually will be do as fast as possible. That is not an answer. So what I'm saying is that all these three things, if you see the next slide, are interlinked: cost, quality, and delivery. And this is very key to defining this as accurately as possible and communicating this to the employees. And then you will have what is called your mental health and wellness in a better way. So this is a typical scenario which I have seen in all the 5 companies where I have worked, big and small. So now coming back to this slide, we have kind of covered mental health and wellness because I have only 15 minutes. And now we will talk about emotional health and wellness. So emotional health and wellness can be related to a toxic work culture. So you can see on the right, the boss is very angry, people are shouting. So I have seen this also. I've gone through this also. And at the end of the day, I was just feeling that what am I doing in life? Why am I here? So that kind of a feeling I had. And in fact, I landed up writing my CV in order to leave the job. So of course, luckily I didn't get another job. That's my good luck. So the thing got solved. But I can say that this particular thing can lead to a lot of health and wellness issues in sensitive people. If you've got a very thick skin, then it's okay. You might still live through it. So on the left-hand side, the core reasons, root causes can be lack of respect. You don't respect your subordinates. You only think you are very great, but others are no good. That's one problem. The second problem is anger all the time. The boss is angry, or maybe you are angry, or maybe the boss is angry and you're angry with your teammates. And the third thing is shouting in the meeting. So shouting in the meetings also I've seen in some companies is absolutely not allowed. So all that raises the blood pressure and you have a lot of physical health as well. So for toxic work culture, now you can see the emoticon on the right. All are working together peacefully and they're working towards ideas. So the bulb shows ideas. They're not arguing that I'm great, you're not great, or this is your problem, not my problem. I did it correctly, you did it wrongly. All this blame game does not add to any health and wellness. But how do you achieve that? So there has to be a company policy because we cannot have saints in the company. Everybody has a target. So on the left, I've said there should be a company policy, maybe by HR or by the top management, and there has to be an internal audit. What is internal audit? Somebody who is independently checking, is the policy being followed or is it just on paper? Because some companies, the policy is just on paper. So there has to be respect and the meetings have to have an etiquette. Etiquette means that there has to be some ground rules for holding the meeting. It should be planned properly. Let me give you an example. I was working in the US, American company, and just like a typical Indian culture, I fixed a meeting of the top management on Friday at 4:30 p.m., which is very normal in India. 4:30 p.m. If I fix a meeting on Friday, I would expect all of you will attend. But in the US, when I fixed that meeting, there was a total, I will say, pushback. So many people called up, what's urgent, what has fallen, has the sky fallen and all that. And I was shocked. Then I understood that in the US, people switch off on Friday evening. So they are already in the weekend mode and they're not going to be contactable on Saturday and Sunday. Next time you can contact those people is only on Monday morning. So they have different mobiles for office, different mobiles for their family, which probably we don't have, right? So that's what I'm saying, that this is a typical culture also we have to keep in mind for a work culture. And last point here, what I have shown here is there should be a whistleblower. What's a whistleblower? Somebody who says, who writes a mail or complains to some very trustworthy person in the organization. It could be the presidential, some kind of a post box, that there is a problem and in this department, the meetings are full of shouting and tension. So that then the management can look at it and take action. Okay. Then the thing is I call it as tough meetings, rough emails. So I've been through both. I've been also shouting, okay, will be tough. And there can also be tough meetings where you are hauled up in a meeting. So if I'm the boss, I can say, okay, Shubhangi, why haven't you done this? Rakesh, you have not achieved this. you have not achieved the target, you have failed, what is the whole company is delayed. All this is called the tough meeting. This is not the way to conduct a meeting. So conducting meetings also requires a proper training, how to conduct it, how to achieve your goals, and at the same time motivate people, so that the company's aggressive goals are achieved. And mind you, every company has some, I will say, aggressive goal, right? There will not be any company which has a very relaxed goal. So how to manage that is the trick and the art of management. So we should avoid tough meetings, and we should avoid rough emails. What is a rough email? I don't know if all of you are getting rough emails from your company, but I have a lot of experience of rough emails. So rough emails is something which the boss says, gives it to you personally and maybe copy to 10 others and says, I'm extremely disappointed, Rakesh, with your deliverable. This is not what I expected from you. It's horrible. It's absolutely the pits of the earth. That kind of a mail is called a rough email. It can go much worse than that, but I'm just giving an example. So the important thing is that aggressive emails should not be written on a daily basis. There should be a policy on that, and there can be a whistleblower system on that. And many companies have that nowadays. The many MNCs have a mail checker. Somebody from HR or somebody is checking how the seniors are writing mails to their juniors. That's being very closely audited. I don't want to take the name of the company, and I really appreciate that company for having taken up this matter in a very strict manner. Okay. And now, second point which I put here is focus on blaming. So everybody is the first thing when the problem happens, the fingers point in different directions. That should be avoided. It should be analyzed. What is the problem, rather than who is the problem? Who is the problem? Very easy. I, Shubhangi, you, Rakesh, Mohan, I can very easily point my fingers, but that's not going to solve anything. What is the problem when we look into? It could be very complex, and we have to arrive at that solution. That is the management capability. And you also should develop that capability when you become managers, because 5 years later, if we all meet on this call, you're not going to be engineer. You will be probably a manager or a general manager. So at that time, are you implementing this? So you have to start now. And so I will say that policy, periodic audit, and who should do it is a very big question. It should not be somebody in HR who is already in line with all the managers. So periodic internal audit by whom is a very tricky question, but that's not for today. Okay. Then we have other item, no respect for private time. So there are companies which I know where the boss simply messages at 11 o'clock on a Saturday or 11 o'clock on a Sunday. ये काम हो गया क्या? ये email, I have not got any reply. So I gave you a mail, at 11:43 p.m. last night. You have not seen that email? I thought you will reply by 5 a.m. today morning or something like that. And that's very common in many companies, believe me. And this, what happens, this causes a lot of stress, because next week you will even if you are having dinner with your family, you will be waiting for his mail. And when that mail comes, you'll say, sorry, I have to ek deck banana hai, and bye. And then your family thing is lost. Whatever you're doing with your friends is gone. You have started making a deck. If you start making a PowerPoint at 12 o'clock in the night, in order to deliver by 5 o'clock next morning, you're done. Your health and wellness is gone for a toss. And afterwards, there's no use giving a lecture on health and wellness. There is no use putting a gym and a carom table just to show people that you are very good in health and wellness. It's no use, right? So this fundamental issue is being sorted out in many companies, and with a I will say, a black. So anyway, so finally it comes to a kind of a table. You can take a snapshot, look at everything, how you should. Of course, some message you can give.
Yeah. Could you please wrap it up in a minute?
Yeah, okay. I'll wrap it up in a minute.
Sure.
And then there are physical. Okay, now we finished this, and now we'll come to the last one, which is physical health and wellness, which is, it could be anything. It could be, I have seen people with wrist pain, finger pain, back pain. Back pain is becoming very common. So chair, sitting position, eating habits, and all that becoming very, very critical for the strategy. And kidney stones, yeah, this is becoming also common. Many of you, I don't know. So I always advise my people to drink water in AC, especially the AC office, because many people have landed up with this by not drinking water. And high blood pressure is something which is due to high stress. Of course, we have to reduce it. And blood test report, I always advise all the employees to do it once a year, if not once in 6 months. And that is your indicator for first your personal strategy for handling your own health and wellness, apart from the management strategy. So I've just kind of made a list here: possible causes and workplace strategies and solutions. office chair, eyes and body well hydrated and so on, and eat healthy. And also there has to be a lot of stress importance given to the canteen food. If the canteen food is not nutritious and not properly planned, there will be health and wellness issues no matter what you do. The last point is nothing to do with the management, it's to do with you and me. Long commutes and no exercise, so that we have to take care. And here is where things like gym will come into picture. You have to walk every day. Walking is so critical to health. And you have to live as close as possible to the workplace. This is some rule which I made later in my life. Live as close to the office as possible. And then you can see some other things which I've suggested strategy for morning blues. And when we go to office, do you ever see the boss's face? They're going to start shouting at me. To avoid all that, in Japan, what they do is every team member, they all get together in a circle. They do some exercises, and every team member speaks for 2 minutes on what's his job that day. It builds such a great bonding. That's all. I will complete very quickly. So I've kind of gone through all this. All these things are over, and if we do all this, we should get at least an A plus in health and wealth. So right, and wellness. Sorry. So I thank you. Have a great day. If you have any questions, you can ask me right now.
Thank you for your speech, Kaustubanji. I would like to request you to share your email ID in the chat box. Due to time
Okay.
constraints, we do not have the time to take questions right now. However,
Okay.
the audience will connect with you via email for any questions they have.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you for your speech.
Thanks.
Moving ahead, we would like to invite Dr. Sunita Sangar to share her insights and comments in speech.
Uh, Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank organizers for giving me this opportunity and sharing my views on this very, very important topic. And I know you've been like listening to esteemed speakers. They're addressing the issues and they've identified issues which are very, very critical. But what I am going to talk about it is, and I want to see it from a gender lens. And we all know that women came into workplaces very late, and still we have women who very, very low participation of women in workplaces. And if you see data of India, we have about 30% of the women only in participation, whereas women work participation rate for men is much higher. And as we see more and more women getting educated and coming into the workforce, it's very, very important to have conducive environment and see things from their perspective, because it's very important to kind of understand that women and men are different, and unless we recognize that, unless we really address that, the solutions are not going to come. And we are very fortunate that that rules have come up now. And I mean, I'll not go into very much of details, but we have acts to you may have heard about, particularly from the perspective of India. We have Sexual Harassment Act, which got recognized in 2013. We have actually completed 10 years of that act, and that says that it basically, its implementation is mandatory for all the companies. It's mandatory for all the government offices, for all the organizations, in fact for formal sectors also, as well as informal sector where women are working, because 90% of the women are working in informal sector. And that act provides kind of provision for these women to reach out and talk about women. So I'll talk about this in detail, but specifically, I'm really, you can see that, that post COVID and recent also, we have been hearing these words: anxiety, stress, depression. Last 20 years, I mean, I'm not any younger, but when I was working 10 years back, probably we never used to discuss about these things. And I'm glad that these things have started to discuss, because COVID and many other things, they make these things very, very evident. I don't know if many of you know that the sexual abuse, it increased a lot during COVID time, when we were working from home. And I'm not like saying it from just like that, but this is the data which is from the National Commission of Women, that because women were more stressed, to handle work and home, and these were the balances which were required by the women. And so there is double, triple, four times burden which women have to face, requirements of the work as well as. So it's really very very important that institutions and organizations, HRs, they put down strict guidelines. They do put down guidelines, but the implementation of these guidelines is very very critical, and it has not been happening. But fortunately, people have started to talk about it. Companies have started to talk about it. Earlier, when the provisions, for example, I'll talk about this law. Every institution, every company should have an internal complaint committee. Every institution, more than 10, who have more than 10 employees. And if you go to big organizations also, and if you ask them, because they have to submit annual report every year of the kind of complaints which they have received, and their answer is that we have not received any complaint. Most of them will say that. And the fact is that girls, they don't know where to approach. And there are so many things which kind of if it was possible, I would have shown you a photo, a kind of short video to explain that. But anyway, I didn't plan it. So to say that, how things have, how by the social norms, the current social norms, they not only impact our homes, but we carry it to our offices also. And with men, and it's not about men, and it's about both men and women. Even women, they don't know where to approach when they are exposed to sexual, 95, there's a data which says that 95% of the women are exposed to any sort of sexual abuse. It could be pinching, it could be anything. A small, saying inappropriately, talking about the dress, talking about how you look, to so many things. And this act clearly explains what is good and what is bad, because this act is also about not what kind of it basically talks about what impact the women will have of this. It's physical, mental, both. And there are cases where women have even committed suicides. So that is how, because they refrain from talking. They don't want to talk about it because there is a social norm about it, so they don't want to talk about it. And in fact, there's a data. I think 4 or 5 days back, we have come out with this report by World Economic Forum, which comes out with every year, which comes out with global gender gap report. And it says that will still take 134 years to reach gender parity. So, and it's not only about India, it's across the world. There may be changes, there may be differences in the countries. We are like for example, in some of the Nordic countries, Finland, Iceland, at least they have kind of plugged this gap by 97%. But we have countries, a lot of countries, big countries also, I would not like to name them, their gender gap is really really very very high. So it's very very important to create conducive environment at the workplaces. So it's very important that we have a conducive atmosphere in the workplace for women to work. And it's the responsibility of the organizations, of the fellow or colleagues, of all, and especially creating awareness about it, having trainings about it, and all that. So I'll talk about some of the challenges and strategies which the entire talk is all about. First of the thing which I would like to address is that the main challenge which women face is which I've already spoken about, handling home and office. And more, since most of the care responsibilities form on women. So for that we need different kind of strategies. Maybe flexible working hours, or remote work options, or robust parental leaves, which gives opportunities to both men and women to take care of the child. And we have that in the formal sector in place, which is actually which gives a lot of kind of solace to the working women. Then second challenge is the workplace harassment and discrimination, which is not talked about, which is but it's not very very evident, but there is a lot of awareness now because institutions have organized trainings. You must have heard about posh trainings, which most of the companies are now taking and now having it for their employees to make them aware about what is the appropriate behavior and what is not appropriate behavior. Then the constitution of committees in the offices, making the address evident in the companies, that the email address or the person who is responsible. Because if committee is 4 member thing, it shouldn't be that my boss is part of that committee. If I'm complaining against the boss, then he's in the part he's in the committee, which is like very very it kills the very purpose of the thing. So these are some of the things which have to be taken care of. So it's very important to establish zero tolerance policies in the workplaces, which is mandated by the government. Then provide regular training at workplaces. Then ensure that there is a confidential reporting mechanism. Sometimes you are complaining, but the person against whom you are complaining is standing in front of you, so it's not possible. So respecting that confidentiality, these are some of the strategies which need to be taken care of. Then there are some occupational hazards, in different companies. Most of the technical companies, I'm not talking about the engineering streams, but there are companies where are the technical institutions where the equipments and technologies are like that the ergonomics of women are not attuned to that, because most of these techniques or technologies or equipments are made keeping men in mind, and they don't even presume that women can take up. And we have all seen that women are into low paying jobs, not highly technical jobs. Very few of them are being able to. Now we have pilots women, and I mean it's not that they are not there, but few of them make into it. We don't have many numbers. So it's basically because of the work environment through which they have to work in. And so there should be a comprehensive health and wellness kind of strategy at a company, at institutions, where these differences between men and women, because women have the issues on a life cycle basis, starting from pregnancy to menopause to talking about menstrual health. These are the kind of problems which are required to be talked about. It's not that only women, your colleagues are going through it, your sister, your mother, everybody goes through it. And it's sometimes varying degrees of difficulties which women face. So we should have those kind of policies. Keep that in mind, that in offices we have those places, those private places, that ensure privacy to girls, to women in the offices. So it's very very critical. So it's also very important because we have less women at workplaces. It's also very important to have training programs and career opportunities, career growth opportunity trainings for career growth opportunities, for for kind of programs like leadership development, those kind of things for women, so that more and more women can be, because my subject area had been improving economic empowerment of women. And how can we do that? And this is a major hindrance, health and wellness of women is a major hindrance, in which comes as a major hindrance in their upcoming to the ladder. I mean, we can see that in society, that you have to kind of sacrifice your family and things. And we have increased report increased numbers of divorces. We have I mean, like most of the women, these days, many of my colleagues, have kind of decided to stay single, because with coming up responsibilities, they have to jeopardize their careers. And the number of single women have actually increased, if you look at the data, and the growth is about 30%. So it is a very scary kind of a situation which is coming out to be. So we really want to have a gender equal world. And it is very very important that whatever policies are put up, HR policies, they are implemented in their true sense, and in their true spirit and sense. So I think this is what I want to say. And if you have any more questions regarding this, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Sunita. Will not take any questions as there are time constraints.
Okay.
So I request you to please share email address in the chat box.
Okay.
And
Sure.
if anybody has questions, they can reach out to you.
Okay.
Moving ahead, I would request Ms. Malak Shah to commence her speech.
Hi, good evening. So it's pleasure to be here today to discuss an important topic that affects us all, health and wellness in the workplace. Given that most of us spend a significant portion of our lives at work, and it's crucial that our work environments support our well-being. Today, I'll delve into why workplace wellness is essential and share effective strategies for creating a healthy and productive work environment in order to achieve a specific goal and to make it a success together. So first and foremost important is that it's quite important and significant to understand the importance of workplace wellness. Okay, let's begin by understanding why workplace wellness matters. The benefits are profound and far-reaching. And for employees, it's very important to have an improved physical and mental health because nowadays, as we all see, that youths are under great stress. They have so many targets to achieve. They have so many targets to accomplish. Lot of PPTs, in the corporate world, lot of making presentations, giving them the numbers, etc., etc. So it's very important that they keep themselves like improved physical and mental healthness and increase job satisfaction and reduce stress level. It's very important that if you are a part of the organization, you are satisfied doing your job. For employers, it's like they can probably lower healthcare costs. That is by reducing absenteeism, increase productivity, and providing the better employee retention. So healthy employees are happier and more engaged, leading to a more dynamic and successful workplace. According to research, businesses with robust wellness programs experiences a significant return on investment through decreased healthcare costs as well as increased employee productivity. Number two, creating a supportive environment. A supportive work environment is the cornerstone of wellness. And there are several key elements, such as, like rightly said by Ms. Sunita in the previous speech, that it's very important to, invest into agronomic workspaces, economic environment, which can lead to a simpler life as far as the health is concerned. Simple adjustments like, you can monitor your posture of sitting, positioning, and also preventing like long-term musculoskeletal issues. Also, for any employees and employers, it's very important to maintain a healthy diet that they can have proper nutrition, snacks, meals, etc., etc. Eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, and as far as important to avoid all the sugary snacks. As we all know that whenever we have all kind of boredom, stress, and so on, we tend to eat more. So this is what it can impact on our health, and we would not be able to focus more on our daily work life. And also, first and foremost, most important thing is that only like health itself is something that needs to be prioritized before anything else. Like only if your health is okay, like be it physical, mental, emotional, then only you'll be able to achieve whatever you have set for yourself. Talking about the mental health is a very crucial as physical health. Provide resources such as employee assistance programs in organizations, counseling services, stress management workshops, and normalize discussion about mental health to reduce stigma and encourage employees to seek help when needed. So, in this particular time period, there are employees who lack knowledge about how about discussing about their mental health. I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people discussing. And definitely me also being a counselor, I get a lot of complaints about not being happy in the work environment and not being able to cope up with their daily lives. So yeah, here are the things. If you like encourage more like a mental health support, that is, do a lot of meditations, encourage physical activities, and nowadays like there are lots of on insect fitness facilities there. Probably we can spend some more time, like a daily walk, a daily routine, like some small exercises, some exercise programs like yoga classes, walking, running clubs, fitness challenges. These activities will not does not only promote health but also foster team bonding. And allowing flexible work hours to accommodate exercise routines will offer like offering longer breaks for those who wish to work out during the day. This will not only make your life easier, but it also makes your life healthier. It's where, and most importantly, it's very important promoting work-life balances. Balancing work and personal life is extremely crucial for reducing stress and preventing burnout. We, apart from work responsibilities, we too have our responsibilities at our houses. And later on, when we just go home tired and not spending enough time with the families, that is also like not very much okay, not really okay for the mental health to be. So it's very important at work hours if we offer options like remote work, compressed work weeks, or adjusting working hours to help employees manage their personal responsibilities. Because as you grow older, as you grow, you have lots of responsibilities with you. But there are people who cannot cope up with work, and nowadays I see life's not being balanced. So it's very important to, we have a compressed work weeks so it can make an employee's life easier. And encouraging employees to use their vacation days and take breaks to recharge. This would help them be more focused, be more motivative, and considering implement policies that mandate taking time off to prevent the burnouts. Supporting employees with families by offering parental leave, childcare options, and family health benefits. This will create a more inclusive and supporting work environment. And also, very much important is that to empower employees with knowledge that could enable them to make healthier choices. For example, hosting sessions on topics like nutrition, exercises, mental health, time management, and most importantly, the stress management. Bringing in some expert that can provide them with the valuable insights and practical advice. This would boost up the employees in the organizations and it would definitely help them for balancing their work life in a proper way. Also offering them the regular health assessments and screenings that can help employees stay informed about their health status. Because nowadays a lot of employees they switch over the jobs. Why? Because they just can't balance their work life because a lot of stress, lot of targets to achieve, and lot many things. So it is very important that they get the early detection of the health issues that can lead to more effective interventions regarding their health. And also, if we can, if we all can start with the wellness newsletters, like sharing tips, articles, and success stories to keep wellness top of the mind. As good as how we keep our targets on top of our mind, it's also very important to keep your health on top priorities. And probably regular communications can motivate employees to maintain healthy habits. And also building a culture of wellness that starts at the top. Leadership should model healthy behaviors and support wellness initiatives. And this can be done by simply leading an example, that is, encouraging leaders to participate in the wellness activities and promoting healthy habits. When employees see their managers prioritizing health, they are more likely to do the same. And also acknowledge and reward employees who actively participate in wellness programs. Incentives can include fitness challenges, wellness days, and even small prizes. This would make environment really and in the I mean interesting and this could also be motivating to certain people, and also ensuring that wellness programs are accessible and inclusive for all employees, regardless of their physical abilities for the fitness program. So I think almost covered everything. So just I would like to say that fostering health and wellness in the workplace is not just a benefit, but it's a necessity. By creating a supportive environment, encouraging physical activities, promoting work-life balances, providing education and resources, and also building a culture of wellness, we can ensure that our workplaces are healthy and thriving. Remember, a healthy workplace is a productive workplace, and investing in wellness is an investment in a collective future. So I thank each and everyone for your attention, and I look forward to discussing the strategies further. So if you are having any questions or any such things, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Malik. Please share your email address in the chat box. And if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to you. Moving ahead, I would request Mr. Shailesh Mishra to commence his speech.
Hi, good evening, Anjali, everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Shall I?
Yes, Mr. Shailesh, you can start.
Okay. So, my apologies because I'm late by 15 minutes. I was supposed to join by 7:45. So, because of certain reasons, I couldn't join. So, I guess I have 10-15 minutes to say. Though this topic, health and wellness, it's very critical and subjective. So if you go to Google and search health and wellness, so you will find that there are plethora of documents, plethora of research on this subject, right? So I again don't wanted to reiterate everything. So from the productivity point of view, to be very honest, because I represent the industry side as well as I'm an educationalist. So from the productivity point of view, it's a non-dying monster, right? It's a non-dying monster, irrespective whatever we discuss, whatever equality we discuss. But ultimately, a person who is crying at the executive level, the moment he or she'll become the manager, they change the color. Correct? So it is not the boss, it is
Harsh,
not the owner
thank
or
you.
the MD of the company. Sorry.
15 minutes or difference?
No, I'm not getting it properly. Your voice is hello.
No, that was a
Anjali, I'm
mistake, I
getting
believe.
some noise.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Miss
there is.
Malak was not on. Yes, that it's fine
Okay.
now.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, the executive and people at the executive level, they have all the complications and the problems. But the moment they get promoted at the level of manager or the MD of the company or the vice president, now they have a very different color. They forget all the empathies, all the ethics and everything. So it is we who create this kind of environment, first of all. So we must understand from the employee point of view and from the company's point of view also that it is a reciprocal thing, right? If we create a decent environment, if we sow appropriate seeds, then only we are going to harvest it. Otherwise, we are not going to do that. And with most of the companies, I have approximately 21 years of experience with multinational companies. And again, I'm extending consultancy to 250 plus companies as of now, and with couple of ministries. So what I understand, the people who are transparent, people who understand the concept of mental health or a healthy environment, they'll maintain it. Otherwise otherwise it is very difficult to understand, right? So first of all, it starts with our education system. Try to understand what I'm trying to say. I don't want to quote very flowery words, because try to understand. I studied from a I'm from a I did my schooling from a government school. Then I am through with my competitive exams through PUSA, and with a very tough institution IET. Then I got my degree. So for my entire for my entire study, starting from class six to my PhD, I spent only 2 or 3 thousand rupees, right? So because I earned my degree. So I did my two PhDs. I get my PhD in electronics, PhD in business management, couple of other master degrees. So what I'm trying to quote here is, I earned each and every piece of my degree. So that's why I have completed my education in 2000, 2001. Still, if I go to the industry, people understand that yes, this person is from the electronics background, right? Wherein I am conducting sessions for law, conducting sessions for the management. I'm a business consultant, but people understand that I'm from the electronics background. Why? Because I earned that degree. Now, if I'll come back to the education system, if a person or a student know that okay, their parents are comfortable, they will anyway spend 20, 30 lakh rupees to get a degree from any of the decorative colleges. So I mean, we see this mental illness from that point of view because it is very easy to achieve that degree. You don't feel the worth of that degree, right? You don't understand. And what I'm trying to say here is, I also conduct lots of session, lots of HR program, lots of induction and interviews with couple of colleges. I don't wanted to mention the colleges of this national and international stature. Nowadays we are China dependent. I'm from a technical background, from electrical electronic point of view. Lots of people are joining this. I mean, lots of people are there who are listening to me. Then hardly 2% of the people they'll understand basic ethics of the industry. I don't know whose mic is on. It's creating big trouble. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is, so we are not learning actually. We are not willing to learn. That's why we are not the SMEs. So if you are a fresh employee of the company, try to be the asset of the company. I started my career with Samsung as a third party employee. And within 1.5 years, I was in the core team, right? So we have to be the asset. We have to be the backbone of the company. When I'm saying SME, that means you have to be the subject matter expert, irrespective if you are from the fashion technology or footwear technology or engineer or manager or mechanical engineer or chemist or pharmacist or lawyer, whatever. But at least try to take the grip of your own subject. Then only you will get the respect. So it is not only restricted to the mental health. It is also it is also dragging us to the anxiety and to the suicidal cases, which is very high nowadays with the corporates. So it is all because it is like a infinite circle. So it's all because we don't understand what we are supposed to do. People are getting identity crisis because they don't understand what they have studied, right? You go through your entire BTech degree, and after 4 years, once you have the degree, you don't know anything. You ask any BTech person what you have studied, they don't have any idea, they don't have any clue. And this is about the software people. They are just sitting on the bench and they are just doing a specific part of their job. So if the job is 100, they are just doing 1 or 2. If you ask them what is the end product, they are not aware of it, right? So in this kind of, and this is happening everywhere. This is happening everywhere. So we should not think only from one employee point of view. We should also consider it from the company's point of view. We are also not getting the proper pedigree. We are also not getting the proper staff. We are collaborating with lots of organizations like NISBERT and IITs, IIMs. Still, we are not getting the appropriate people, right? So now, how you want and what kind of treatment basically you think we should extend to these guys when they are in the company? You cannot promote everyone to the level of the manager, right? So from a company's point of view, there are also lots of compliances. There are lots of things they also have to take care of. You cannot keep on promoting people. Like in our company, if there are 35 people, I cannot make them vice presidents. So we have to keep that gauge. So what I'm trying to say here is, we have to be transparent and we have to download that culture as MBO to everyone. So for example, in my company, my secretary or my staff or my engineer, if they wanted to go for a movie, or if she wanted to roam around with her boyfriend, she should say it transparently to me. Then boss, I want some early leave, or I wanted to leave 3 hours early because I wanted to go for shopping or wanted to go for a movie. And being a boss, it is my responsibility to understand that if she is trying to be transparent, I should accept it as verbatim. Then only we will be able to create a proper culture in the company. If I'll show my arrogance, if I'll show my ego or some kind of pseudo ethics, then it's not going to happen, to be very honest. So this is what I'm trying to say, because we believe in this kind of creed. Then we have to be brand centric, irrespective if we are working for a company or if we are running our own company. We have to deliver good quality. When I'm saying good quality, so it is either product or services or whatever. So one individual must try to deliver good quality of product, whether it is services or product. and we have to do the introspection. Before we claim that we deserve this, we have to do introspection, whether we really deserve that or not. So if we do the introspection, we will find that 99% of our problems will drain out. It'll get defied. So I think that is the main reason. If we want a decent and good culture within the company, whether it is our own company or if you're working anywhere, even as an executive or boss or manager at whatever level, so we have to focus on all these things. And one more important thing, this mental illness and anxiety is contagious. So this is not because of liquid exchange or anything. No, it is contagious. So people nowadays, it's a research of some US company. So nowadays 90% of the people, they are under stress because of their infinite hunger. So this I don't want to stress this topic, because of their infinite hunger. They actually don't need anything, but because their colleague has something, so that's why they are in stress. So they are also taking passive stress. If if I'll go out in the canteen and sit among 10-12 people, right, and out of 10-12 people, 4 people they are discussing about the management, this is not good, this is not that. So 8 people, they'll take that second hand stress, and again they'll keep on mulling on the same thing, again they'll get stressed out of it, right? So we also have to do introspection, and we must not, go to these directions. Then only we will be able to create a good culture. And it is always important to focus on your own job, develop some confidence. If you have low confidence, if you are not the expert of your own field, if you have empty mind, if you are directionless, then obviously you will bang your head with all these things. The people who are confident, who understand their subject, they'll rise in their life and they'll do good. So as I said earlier, it's, if you talk about the pollution or mental illness or all these things, these are non-dying monster. Whatever session we do, whatever we do, we won't be able to do it unless until we really wanted to do. Policies and everything, it cannot do anything unless until we are willing to do something. We have to be our own hero. We have to be our own brand. We have to believe in ourselves. And in case of any crisis, create a transparent environment so that you can discuss it with the appropriate people who can give you the solution. This is the only way from my point of view. So thank you so much, SK Associates, for giving me the opportunity. And once again, very sorry for the late joining. Thank you so much. So if you have any queries, you can anyways, we are conducting sessions for the people, and we are also running a placement, FOC placement drive, wherein we have placed 9,500 people so far, starting from the executive level to senior VP. So in case if you need any support of mine, I am always there. I'll share my email address and phone number. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. Yep. Any questions? Any difficult question, I'm more than happy to take.
Sure. I wanted to suggest you to connect with our HR team once, but we'll come to that after.
Anytime, sir. Anytime. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you, Mr. Sailesh. That was a wonderful speech. I would request you to please share email address in the chat box.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll move ahead. I request Mr. Abhijit to commence his speech.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, got little sick, so that's why not sharing my video camera actually. So thanks to the organizer, obviously, thanks for inviting me and having me as speaker, and best wishes for the participants as well. Also, I was hearing all the speakers actually. So very important insights everyone was sharing. So almost everyone covers a lot of things. So I'll be sharing, or I'll be actually talking about some insights from my experience of last 15, 16 years actually. That means, so whatever the thing I am practicing, and whatever the thing needs to be done actually, maybe it will help to grow the work culture, to maintain the culture, office environment, and other things. The first thing is appreciation. And I always try to appreciate my team members. So appreciation, even it is very small, but appreciation works best actually, because whenever the boss is appreciating his or her co-workers, about every little works, every little success. They are appreciating the things, so it actually boosts up the productivity of the employees. Oh yeah, you are doing good. Oh, that's a good thing. You have done a good job. So little appreciation workspace. So always we have to try. We have to appreciate our team members in every activities actually. Then as a boss, as a leader, proper workload, distributing the workload, maintaining the proper workload is very important. In some cases, due to the experience, maybe we think that maybe underload will work best, or underload will actually give me some time to grow my skill or something like that. But that's not true. From my experience of last 15 16 years, I got that underload kills the productivity of the employees. So if I am actually suppose giving my team members underload, like 3 4 hours per day, maybe regular load or something like that, it actually kills the productivity. After that, even practicing this for maybe a couple of years, after that, if anyone is giving him the proper load, then he can't work, because it's actually destroying the culture, work culture of that particular employee. So underload is very very bad thing, and overload is not good as well. But we always think about that we should not put the overload, or employees are thinking, okay, boss is giving me overload is very bad to maintain the personal life and other things. But underload is bad as well, so we have to keep the balance. Whenever we are distributing the task, we have to maintain that properly. Then maintaining the team bonding is very important. As a project manager, as a team owner, we have to think about team bonding. So working, just giving work and taking the deliveries is not the only thing. So team bonding is very important. Suppose maybe time to time we can arrange some outing, we can take some food together, outside food together with the team members. We can talk to them, we can listen to everyone, whatever the thing they are talking about, we can listen their ideas. So that type of chit chat discussion actually creates the team bonding. That actually helps, because whenever proper team bonding is there, everyone will actually backing everyone's. Otherwise, not everyone will be taking the responsibility of everyone. Then according to the team bonding, one very important thing I try to practice, that is a daily scrum is very important to start office day. Maybe in the very first hour, if we are actually talking maybe for 5 10 minutes about whatever the thing we are going to do today, whatever the thing we have faced yesterday. So just chit chat discussion, that is we can call team daily scrum. So daily scrum boost up the productivity. And time to time, the team should arrange the skill development session that actually helps to grow the skills, and knowledge sharing sessions. Suppose one team member is got some good idea, or he has done a good job, he has learned a new thing. So we can arrange some knowledge sharing sessions every week or in every 2 weeks among the team members, or among the 2 3 teams actually. So it helps to share the knowledge. And another thing, actually, nowadays we are getting the proper office environment. Suppose most of the in 24 hours, the productive hours we spend, because sometimes we are sleeping, we are eating, we are actually taking some work outside. But most of the productive hours we are passing at office. So proper office environment is very very important, because people passes most of the time at office. So we need to feel good at workplace. People want to take pictures at their office, because we want to share our office environment with others, whatever the thing we are doing. So we want to take pictures. So if office environment is not good, so in that time people actually don't feel good to talk about their office life with others. So office environment is very important. And for mental health, or we can call the healthy to keep the office environment healthy. In office places, we can keep some open spaces for like free hand exercise, or like to play some indoor games or something like that. It actually helps because not every time we will be working. So in between our working hours, we can pass some times, like to play the indoor games, or for free hand exercise. That actually boosts up the productivity, we can call. And and about the project management, I was talking about proper project management and team management is very important, because we have to assign the task accordingly. We have to take the output from the team members, and always before end of the day we have to take back everything, because we cannot keep anything for our home, because we have to maintain the office time as well as the personal time. We cannot call our team members during their personal time. That means whatever the update of the task of something like. So we have to assign the task accordingly, and we have to take it back. And before end of the day, we must taste and finish everything, because whenever we will be at home, we must not always think about our office hours and our task. And obviously, whenever it in terms of weekend or holidays, before that we must finish everything. We should not take our office task to our home. So that is the thing we have to practice. Otherwise, actually, we cannot keep balance with our professional and personal life. So these are the thing actually we must practice for our healthy environment, and healthy office environment, we can call. And if we can keep everything aligned, then we can call we can stay alive, because working is not everything. We are actually working to live we are just working to live a healthy life. So work to live, not live to work actually. So thank you everyone. So if anyone got anything to ask me, I'll be sharing my email address, so always you can connect to me, and I'll be happy enough to actually share my insights with anyone. Thank you.
Surely, Abhijit ji. Thank you for your presence. So I would like to conclude this event with a small story, if you wouldn't mind hearing to it. And I would like to have 2 minutes of all of your time. So Abhijit ji just said he was sick and he still attended. I would like to actually thank him for that from the depth of my heart. Because again, back in 1909, in Bardoli district and sessions court somewhere in Gujarat, a young lawyer got a telegram saying that his wife was dead at around 10 a.m. in the morning. And that was the point of time when he was actually defending an innocent man in the court who was accused of being guilty of 3 murders by the East India Company. However, he didn't leave his stand and he stayed there and he just defended his client like anything. And he obviously went home to complete the fundal rights of his wife, but he went home at around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So that day, that young lawyer actually set a great example down there. And for that very incident, he is known as the Lion of Bardoli. And the lawyer is nobody else but Barrister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, the first Home Minister independent India ever had. So again, sometimes when we are sick and when we are not doing that good, but we still prioritize our duties above our health, prioritizing our karma, that's when we actually set examples for the society to follow, and maybe a bit of hope that Sardar still lives in some of us today, like Abhijit ji. Thank you, Abhijit ji. Please do share your email ID in the chat box for the participants. Thank you a lot. Now, as we come to the close of this remarkable session of Conference 3.4, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you. The knowledge shared, the insights gained, and the connections made have all contributed to the success of this event. Yeah, I was noticing the networking happening in the chat box. I'm not that inactive too. So we are actually truly grateful for all of your participation. You all might have made new friends today. All might have learned a new things out here. Maybe you might have made a best of mistakes, but again, perception is what matters. Right and wrong can always be learned. As we wrap up this conference, we kindly request all attendees and speakers to take a moment to provide your valuable feedback and reviews on our Google Maps location. Your input and thoughts are highly appreciated and they will help us improve future events and continue delivering high quality conferences. I'd also like to thank the executive management team, Ms. Anjali Singh, Ms. Anjali Kumari, Ms. Aditi Jain, Ms. Vaishali Shri, Ms. Rima and Payal Kumari, obviously. The HR team has been working very hard at the back end, managing the calls. I do notice that too again. And I would like to thank you, Fez, for being here, supporting us throughout the event on the back end. I would like to thank you all for your participation and for being an integral part of this remarkable conference. However, it's not done yet. We shall be looking forward to your reviews and hope to see you all in session 3 tomorrow evening from 7 p.m. IST to 8:30 p.m. IST. Until we meet again tomorrow, stay inspired, keep dreaming, and keep building your future. And continue to strive for excellence. Thank you all and farewell for now. Have a good day. Fez, am I audible? Am I audible, Fez?